Let's get into this news about Oprah, who is being subpoenaed in Russell Simmons' rape trial. So, shout out to you, niece. In regards to all of this mess that's going on. Well, hold on. Let me pull this picture up as we get into the topic. So, the billionaire, who's 71, has been subpoenaed by Drew Dixon, one of Simmons's alleged victims, in her ongoing defamation lawsuit against the rapper, who's 67. And this is according to page 6. So Dixon is suing Simmons over remarks he made in a 2023 interview about her R-word claims and about Winfrey dropping out of executive producing a 2020 documentary on the scandal. Oh my God, I totally forgot that. Yeah, she was supposed to be producing that, but then she backed away. So I guess they want a subpoena and say that, excuse me. Maybe she knows where the bodies is buried in that. She don't want no parts of the situation. So Simmons claimed that Winfrey backed away from the project after discovering inconsistencies in Dixon and other alleged victims' stories, and that she had recordings that reveal those inconsistencies. So if he's out here saying that, oh, she got recordings that what she said was inconsistent, which, sometimes people aren't going to be consistent in regards of, things that happen to them. Sometimes there's going to be a confusion of timelines and all the other stuff, because when you're going through a trauma, who sits and remembers every minute detail of what happened? Sometimes there's little blind spots, or like moments where you black out or whatever, and then you might remember something later on after you've gone through your testimony. So with all that said, she said, well, since you claiming that she got inconsistencies and recordings, now I'm going to subpoena her for my case. Why you hiding out in Bali? Now attorneys for Dixon have commanded that Winfrey hand over documents, recordings, and other tangible things, giving the talk show icon a March 18th deadline. They also commanded Winfrey appear for a deposition that may be videotaped. Well, bitch, I want to see them tapes when y'all have to come out. Excuse me. They said, quote, you are hereby commanded to produce the books, records, papers, data, documents, evidences, writings. Well, goddamn, was there anything else? And all other tangible things as described more fully in the attached Schedule A at law firm Boyes Schiller Flexner, LLP, 55 Hudson Yards, New York, New York, 10001. Well, I know where Hudson Yards is. Hudson Yards is not too far from where I work. Or electronically to undersigned counsel or on or before March 18, 2025. This is according to the subpoena. It said you are further commanded to appear and attend before a notary public or other person authorized by law to administer oaths, and at any recessed or adjourned date to testify and give evidence as a witness on an examination before trial by deposition upon oral questions. The document concludes with this deposition may be videotaped and will continue from day to day until complete. So, girl, and you want to know something? Some people might be like, Oprah know where the bodies is buried. Because remember, once upon a time, not long ago, wasn't she out there hobnobbing with Harvey Weinstein? And we've seen the tea that happened with him. And they also say she on that Epstein list. I don't want to sit out here and start spreading alleged rumors, allegedly, but Oprah, the people you be out here hobnobbing with, need to watch it. So now, according to page 6, it says it remains unclear if Winfrey compiled with the demands laid out in the subpoena by the March 18 deadline, or if her lawyers worked to fight them. It's also unclear what assets were called for. Well, they said everything. Dixon launched her defamation case in 2024 after Simmons spoke on her R-word allegations during a sit-down interview with Graham Bessinger in 2023. Say he seemingly suggested that Dixon was thirsty for fame and seeking notoriety by accusing him of R-wording her back in 1995 at his apartment. He also insisted that he'd only ever had consensual relationships with women, that he'd never been forceful in any of his relationships. In this same interview, he said Winfrey's exit from On the Record, a documentary about Simmons' alleged crimes and R-word accusers, was the result of her finding inconsistencies in Dixon's and other women's stories. Simmons also made mention of the tapes Winfrey allegedly has of everyone she interviewed or spoke to for the documentary, saying she taped about 20 witnesses. Those tapes are available. This is what he told Bessinger. He started the conversation by telling Bessinger that he didn't watch on the record because it's not true, and I think that Oprah said the stories don't add up. He also said that Winfrey wanted more time to shift her focus on the project and wanted to change the entire thing to a documentary about men in general and about the whole music industry. So she didn't want to just put it all off on Russell Simmons. Say, I couldn't be a subject anymore because she had found too much contradictory evidence about the stories about me. Winfrey withdrew herself as EP of On the Record in January of 2020. Now, while appearing in CBS this morning to address her departure, Winfrey said her decision to leave the project was not a victory for Simmons in any way, saying, I unequivocally said that I did not pull out because of Russell. This is not a victory lap for him. I cannot be silenced by Russell Simmons after all I've been through. Okay? And Oprah has admitted that she is a victim of rape, that she has been essayed. So she understands that. And so it's like, I'm not going to sit up here and side with a alleged predator. And just because I'm pulling out of this documentary doesn't necessarily mean your ass is innocent. So what she said was she believed and stood in support of the women in the documentary who made the accusations against Simmons, which he has repeatedly denied. Oprah said that the professional differences with collaborators on the documentary led her to make the hard decision to disengage with the project, saying, quote, I said to them, Houston, I think we have a problem here because new information had come forward. I just care about getting it right. And I think there's some inconsistencies in the stories that we need to look at. I wanted the context of the story to be broadened. I wanted more women brought into the story. So it's like, yeah, there was inconsistency. She wanted to make sure she had her behind covered because if anything goes down, you're not going to wrap my ass up in no damn lawsuit. So yeah, here is the woman that, Miss Dixon, who is basically suing Simmons over his remarks. Now, she also said the lesson she gleaned amid her work on the project was that you don't put your name on anything that you do not have creative control over. The film, which was acquired by HBO after being dropped by Winfrey and Apple TV Plus, is centered around former Def Jam A&R executive Dixon's allegation of R-word against Simmons during her 2-year stint at the company. It focuses on how Dixon wrestled with the decision to bravely come forward and speak out about Simmons. She finally decided to do so in 2017 when she went on the record in an interview with the New York Times. What made her mind up was when she saw other women, talking about it in the Me Too movement and cited how Mike Tyson's rape accuser, Desiree Washington, wasn't believed when she spoke out. However, y'all do know that Tyson did prison time for that assault. Tyson was later convicted of R-wording the 18-year-old. I couldn't let them dangle in the wind. This is what Dixon said in the film. The doc went on into detail about what happened to Dixon that fateful night in 1995. Then a 24-year-old music industry executive, Dixon was flying high, having recently assembled the chart-topping soundtrack for the hip-hop documentary The Show. After a night with her boss, Simmons, at Manhattan's Bowery Bar, she was about to get a taxi home when he offered to call her a car and suggested she wait in his apartment. He enticed her with the promise of listening to a hot demo CD. Once inside, Simmons sent Dixon to retrieve the demo from a player in his bedroom. But when she did, Simmons followed her in, and she turned around to find him naked wearing a condom. Dixon remembers him pinning her down on the bed, talking with a cold, menacing voice, and R-wording her. She then blacked out, she says, and the next thing she recalls is waking up naked in his bathtub. I was reduced to nothing in that moment. She said in the film, breaking down in tears, I was trash. Now, Dixon left the apartment, walking the 20 blocks back home before taking a shower and sobbing uncontrollably on the floor. She later resigned from Def Jam after just 2 years before joining Arista Records in 1996. There, she claims her new boss, L.A. Reid, who joined Arista in 2000, also stepped over the mark, making sexual advances towards her before making life difficult when she didn't comply. as well as Dixon. Another half dozen other women went on camera to say Simmons SA'd them. In total, 20 women have come forward to accuse Simmons of rape or SA. The documentary states that both Simmons and Reed both declined to take part in the film. Well, duh, of course they're not going to partake in the film. But if you was innocent, I would have been all up in there and been like, these bitches is lying. But I side-eyed Russell Simmons because I truly believe if you were so damn innocent, why did you run over to Bali? So the film ends by saying Simmons 62 has moved to Bali, Indonesia, a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the U.S. So, and you knew to move the one place that is not tied to us. So they're not going to get you just like they didn't get Roman Polanski when he was out there dealing with children. So, or a child that we know of. So, Oprah, just give them what they want. If you know you ain't do nothing criminal or whatever the case is, then you ain't got nothing to hide. But I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops. But I ask all of you, what do you think of this story in regards to Oprah being subpoenaed by Russell Simmons' rape accuser? Basically saying, it's funny, I didn't say the word the whole damn time, and I say it at the end, right? It was like, I called it grape. I called it the R word. I'd be great. And then I go and say it. But anyway, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.